hello, and welcome. Wait, what happened? Oh, here it is. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Xbox International Podcast. We are in flight 121, baby. We're almost close to the 200 mark. Oh, man. If we get to the 200 mark, I mean, we got to get to the 1,000, guys. We got to get to the 1,000 episodes. How many episodes has Good Morning Crazy Louie had? I think I already got to 50. Dear Lord, I gotta count them. I keep forgetting to put numbers on there, man. Just to count them up. But I gotta seriously count them. I probably have like 50 shows already. You know, if I get to 100, it'll be pretty amazing. But yes, we're on flight 121, and man, oh man, chat everyone. There's just been some awesome news just dropping from Xbox, and also we had some news from PlayStation about a little price increase that they stealthily, put it over there. I said let's touch out this little price increase since everything is on the subject of Game Pass and everything. But yes, there's a little PlayStation price increase there that has got some guys from Turkey just mad and flourished with this price raise. But anyways, let's get this show on the road and let's start off with our awesome, beautiful captain. How you doing, sir? And what have you been playing?
Good evening, Louis. I'm good. I'm good. It's been a hectic week. I feel like the internet's falling apart every time I jump on. I feel like everyone's been losing their mind over things the last couple weeks. But I'm good. I've been diving into Broforce for the last few days. I had never played the game previously. I know you guys had talked about it. Everyone always talks it up, and I just for some reason never got to it. So I've been playing, been playing a handful of that. Actually, been playing a bunch of couch co-op with my son because you can play up to 4 players on that game, which is freaking awesome. Um, but yeah, it's been good. Looking forward to playing some other games. I actually just got my Fire Stick 4K Max in the mail yesterday. So I started working on hooking it up right before the show, and then I went to press the button, and nothing's happened yet. So I must be on the wrong HDMI. So I'm trying to troubleshoot it. We'll see how it goes. But it's great to be hanging out with you guys. We're minus a Sourblow today to an extent. Looks like he's hanging out in the chat. But yeah, let's get into it.
All right. And now, man, oh man. Why should we introduce this man? Because he just does not need an introduction. I mean, look how handsome he looks. This man, I mean, Jason Biggs' twin brother. I mean, seriously, how you doing, Mr. Big Plume? And what have you been playing, sir?
Louis, you're making me blush here. You gotta stop that. You gotta stop making me blush. But I'm doing great. What have I been playing? I've been playing the Xbox Series S console mover, I guess you could call it at this point. As I've been playing a lot of college football 25, the first game. It's been 10 years now. I think the last one was in 14. As like it's actually the first good football game I think EA has put out in at least a decade. I was somebody who played all these games way back in the day on like the OG Xbox and the PS2, and I thought that was the greatest era of football video games from EA, and they've just been complete garbage since then through 2 generations, and they're finally back with a good football game. So I've been playing a lot of that. It's really well done. Gameplay's awesome. Game modes are so far good. So I'm just diving into that. And I live in Canada, so we don't have any American colleges up here. So I just pick the shittiest team and then try to build them to become a good team. It's a lot of fun. So that's what I've been playing.
All right, man.
Louis,
What is
what have you been playing? Ah, beat
ah?
you to it.
Lead me to it? Oh no! Hold on, let me get myself on screen. Oh, there you go. Because I keep getting confused. This Sourblow and this is Crazy Louis. But as like I said, I'm in control of the plane today, guys. So be patient with the crazy one. It can get messy. But what have I been playing, man? Listen, I've been having a lot of fun these days, just walking the dog out, going to exercise with the dog. Like just flexing out there. All handsomely walking, and the ladies looking at me, and the little poochie, they're like, "Yeah, look at that man with that cute little
What?
dog." Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But listen, I've been playing First Descent, great game, and I don't want to get it too deep into it because guys, we're gonna talk about it later on. Because hey, you know, look what's happening, right? With the flight itinerary, we got Concord is dead, which is Uh-oh, that's not a good thing. Concord is dead. We got some news for Bioshock 4 and Driver. And not only that, guys, we also have some great Xbox news. Man, oh man, I'm telling you, it's just like all of a sudden today, everything just started pouring and pouring and pouring on the Xbox side. But man, oh man, we're gonna get into this. So, Captain, are you ready? Is our captain ready?
All right.
All right,
Yes.
let's get him into the screen. Let's go.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Sour's turned on that subscribe button, although he's doing it from behind the scenes. Please stow your food and beverages next to your desk, underneath your seat, or in front of you. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt, and also make sure that you've hit that like and subscribe as we take off. We gently remind you that smoking and drinking are not prohibited on this flight. However, leaving a show because the chat disagrees with you is strictly prohibited. If you have any questions about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask our flight panelists. Thank you.
Uh oh. Uh oh. Who we talking about that left the show? I wonder who it is. We won't say names, but
I have no idea.
yeah, I have no idea either. But yes, either way, let me jump real quick into the chat and shout out the chat before we start the show. Man, I mean, chat has been trolling and having so much fun like always. If they having so, they're just enjoying you right here, hanging out with us. I mean, let's start off with this. Timmy, what's up, Timmy? What's up, John? TJ, how you doing, brother? Oh man, Sourblow. We don't miss you. Nah, I'm just kidding. We miss you, buddy. We miss you. We miss you. Especially since you did that thing on Twitter that you put Silent as Bunsen, me as that weird guy that gets messed around by crows. Yep, you know who you're talking about. If you guys saw, what was it, Little Nicky? Mm-hmm. Yep. And of course, Plume, that looks like Jason Biggs. Because why? Why don't you make me look like Henry Cavill though? Why you gotta make me look like that guy? Seriously, I mean, I look like Henry Cavill, not that guy, man.
Wasn't
Uh,
that just you on the poster?
what poster? Me? No, it wasn't me.
That
No,
was
it was
you.
not. No, it was.
You sure?
Oh man, anyways, Talos, the man with the what's up, Talos? How you doing? How you doing? Captain Envy. What's up, Edwin? Spartan 661. He says, oh man, have a great show, everyone. I'll catch you on replay. No, come back, come back, come back. Oh, 4K. What's up, 4K? Oh man, 4K, you still got that picture from this morning? Seriously? Oh dear Lord. Ooh, look who's here. G, maybe. Maybe. What's up, G Maybe? How you doing, man? How you doing? Ah, man, who else is in here to say what's up to? Richie, what's up, brother Richie? How you doing? How you doing? And man, whoo, MJ Dark in the house, like always, you know. He says, vote to make the chat great again at Silent Cypher. What do you mean make the chat great again? I don't understand what he means by that.
Listen, okay, I'm going to make the chat amazing. It's going to be unbelievable. Okay, it's going to be the biggest chat. It's unbelievable.
All right. But all right, let's get this show on the road because hey, we got loads of stuff to talk about, loads of fun today, and man, let us start off with this because hey, I know the first subject, right? What's up, Cygnus? How you doing, sir? Man, shout out to you since you're on here, man. Okay, we gotta start off with this because of course, I put Concord is dead, but okay, again, why don't we talk about this on the PlayStation price increase that they went in there stealthily and they said, let me raise the price since Xbox, got the little increase over the little $3 increase, right? Let's just drop this in here only on this region. But could this mean that they could down the road, because we all know how Sony is, could this mean that they could down the road actually do a full price increase everywhere around the world? That is a good question. So, news is video games have always been an expensive form of entertainment. However, in recent years, the price of games and services has increased significantly. This has impacted of players who are finding it increasingly difficult to enjoy the most anticipated releases. Unfortunately, for some players, PlayStation recently increased the cost of its title in some regions. This caused games to cost up to 85 USD. As expected, their fans are upset and disappointed with the recent increase. So my question is to you guys, right? No, yeah. Before we get to the question, hold on real quick. Let me read what the guy said when they saw the price increase. Which really, this is what the person said. He said this. is happening in my country with an average salary of 400 USD. Sorry, what the hell? Playing on PC is much cheaper in comparison. I literally can't afford to play on PS5 because of this. Said one player who believes the new prices should be illegal. Damn. As a Turkish citizen, I wonder what made Sony think it would be reasonable to sell games here to 480 euros. We have the same prices as the European Union, but we don't earn anywhere near what they do. Meanwhile, despite the recent price hike, Microsoft still offers Game Pass at affordable prices in Turkey. Commented by this person. I mean, look, right? They quietly did it, of course, like I said before, since you know Xbox announced the Game Pass thing. Because every time Xbox like is getting close to announcing something big or something happens, they kind of slither in stuff. Because we all saw the PS Plus increase right before the Starfield release. Right before the Starfield release, they put right there. They literally slid that in the PS Plus price increase. They did that right then and there. So my question to you guys is this: will Sony down the road actually increase for the rest of the world? Let's start with you, Mr. Plume.
Will they increase for the rest of the world? I think there will be increases or price changes depending on each country's economics and stuff. Because it's like in Canada, we've had $80 games, we've had $85 games for almost two going on 2 generations now. I think they raised them during the Xbox One generation. So I don't know. Sony historically, one of the biggest complaints that they've had has been their store and their digital storefront, and locking ways from being able to purchase games through them. Right, there was like the whole lawsuit with like the CD keys websites and stuff where you couldn't buy points to purchase games on their storefront. They wanted to lock you to only buying it through PSN so they can have complete control over the pricing. But will they raise prices? I mean, that's almost impossible to say, but I would assume, depending on how the economic conditions are going forward, they will. I mean, because in during the 360 era in Canada, we had prices on par with the US, and then it started going up after that, after our dollar got worse and everything. So I don't know. I'm sure that they will. Sony will always try to get as much money out of every customer as they can, because the reality is PlayStation gamers want to pay that amount. Man, they always pay it. They will continue to pay it. So until people stop paying it, they're going to keep doing these types of tactics, raising prices, because they know they can get away with it.
All right, all right, all right. How about you, Silent Cypher or Awesome Captain? Do you think Sony is going to sooner or later increase these prices around the world?
Yeah, I wish that I could say that I didn't expect it, but it would not surprise me whatsoever if the prices go up. They've talked about it, and a lot of people have commented, of course, on the fact that you know development costs a lot more now to do some of these things, because everyone tries to go for the highest fidelity when they release these games. Long gone are the days, and we've talked about this before, but like long gone are the days of us having those single and double A games as much. Everyone's been focusing so hard on triple A's and stuff, and it takes a long time to get that visual fidelity, to get that polish. I again, it makes me miss times like the Xbox 360 gen, when we had all those games that came out at just a regular pace. Like we had 1 or 2 years in between some of these games on a regular basis. And they may not have been like the most super supremely polished games. They did a really good job. They usually used the same engine and didn't modify it for multiple games in a row. And we saw a lot of stuff come out, and I'd imagine they probably had quite a bit more return on their games in general, just because they weren't spending so much time trying to like reinvent the wheel when it comes to the engine every time that they did a new iteration of the games. So I think going back to Sony's price point and stuff, it would not surprise me at all. Like if we see this as a permanent thing moving forward. um, 85, I don't know, being the price point. when I was in marketing and sales side of things, generally you try and go for the 99 cent mark because it sounds better than the flat, right? So you would say, we're going to sell this to you for $59.99 instead of $60 flat because it sounds better. Even though it's only a penny, it sounds better in the consumer's mind. My thought is probably, because we're already at 70 with a lot of things, I would imagine $79.99 would be the price point that they would go to. Do I think it's going to happen quick? Hopefully not. But in the next couple years, I could see it for sure. Hopefully not for a couple of years because everything's been so expensive as it is. But it sadly does not surprise me. And unfortunately, as soon as someone comes out the gate with a price change like this, everyone else is going to start doing it because this is always how it works. Takes one to go out there and be the bad guy, and as soon as one person goes out and gets the criticism for it, everyone else will move on to it as well. So don't be surprised if we see some price increases here in the next couple of years. It feels like it's just the nature of things, and people aren't willing to reduce some of the specific costs that are involved, i.e., ditching the physical copies or maybe reducing how much you pay upper management, or paying the people down below a little bit better and just balancing out that financial burden a little bit better instead of making us pay for all of your back end costs for the games.
Crazy stuff. I mean, that was going to be my next question. Will everyone also, follow? And you already answered it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
what I find amazing about this, though, guys, is that it's like, okay, this is happening over there, and I'm glad that people are jumping into it and actually talking about it because, hey, when a company goes for this, right? I keep saying it. These price increases, all this crazy stuff, especially for video game, because at the end of the day, guys, which is a true fact, right? We see that people are not buying games anymore. People are not buying new games as it is because of the development issues they had. The things that have been happening since the COVID situation, all that stuff. I mean, we're watching how things are. People are sitting there. Let's say, okay, let's go pay 70 for this games because of the whole quality situation and a whole bunch of stuff. Not only that, $70 for a game is expensive. So imagine going up to 85, which is close to 100. Because I heard some fanboys out there that said that Sony should increase their prices to $100. I said if they do that, I mean, I'm sorry, you can go ahead and say that and say, okay, raise it to 100. It's gonna be better development. No, guys, I think that's not gonna happen. They're gonna keep on releasing the games the way it is. They probably, of course, release it in a better state. But at the end of the day, since the whole service thing has been happening, right, they can come in there and patch things up. They release the game at the state it's at, and that's how it is. It sucks, but that's how it is because at the end of the day, they go in and put some patches on there to fix a couple of little issues and stuff like that. It wasn't like back in the day when we used to get those games. Everything was all it was perfect the way it was. But at the end of the day, yes, we found some glitches, some errors, but we had fun with those glitches. Those like fun times back in the day. But
I Louis, I think that's one thing that they also bank on, and I have seen it used a few times. Is there's an inherent added value now versus what we had in the past, because, like you said, when those games released back on Xbox, PS2, PS1, all those old gens, they didn't have the option to just jump in and do an update.
nope,
So if a game was broken, a game was broken. And so you had to do as much as possible to make sure that thing was bulletproof when it released. Otherwise, that game would get passed to the wayside. You'd have a flop, and then you'd probably close your studio down. Um, I've seen a lot of people come out over time and be like, well, we provide you additional value because now we can update your game as much as possible as we're still working on that game. We can keep providing you more updates, more fine tunes to make it a better experience over time. Of which, yeah, a little bit. I get it. And I appreciate the ability of them being able to do those things if it's necessary. If you have more DLC or content that you're releasing, I'm for that. I think stability fixes and stuff like that, one, you just shouldn't have released the game as unstable as it was, or unstable as it was. Um, if you're releasing extra content and stuff, sure. yes, continue to expect that I will support you for that. But if it's just like stability fixes and stuff, I didn't make you release that game when you released it. So don't expect that I'm just gonna take it with a grin when you're like, oh well, you're paying for extra value. You could have released the game in a better quality before it came out, and not just be like, oh well, you get updates now, so suck up that $10 difference. Like it's kind of scummy. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, Plume, anything you want to weigh in on this?
It's just, I think like that is a good point you brought up, where it's the higher prices of games. There's people who are, we're seeing them have so many choices of free to play games and things like that, and get cheaper games out there. So it would be a hard sell in definitely certain parts of the world, but at the same time, it's like they probably raise them so they're on par across like every part of the world. I'm not sure, but if they do raise them in, let's say, the US to like $80 or something. Right now they're 70, right? Let's say they raise it to 75, $80. It would be interesting to see how much of an effect it does have on the actual people buying day one games, and specifically how much of an effect it would have on like buying first party PlayStation games. If they're hardcore fans would still be supporting it, even though you do see them, like you said, on social media where people are saying that they should be raised to $100 and things like that. So that would be an interesting thing to see if that were ever to happen, if they did raise them even more.
Ah, yeah. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. And now moving on up, moving on up, moving on up. We gotta talk about this, guys, because listen, there's been a lot of stuff, and since we're on the subject of games, guys, let's talk a little bit about Concord. Man, I want to touch him with this game because really, it's just incredible. I mean, this game was announced a few months ago on the PlayStation Showcase or whatever it was. What was it? PlayStation Show? I don't know what's it called. It's just State of Play,
State of
because
play, yeah.
they don't say it's a showcase, but for me, it's a showcase. I see it like a, I don't know what's the difference though between a State of Play and a showcase. If it's the same thing, you see video games, isn't it? I mean, am I?
State of Play is their very small version. They're like 15-20 minute version. Like an actual
Okay.
showcase is usually hour and a half.
Oh.
It's just measured in size of show.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. I see. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing, right? Because it's from trailers, right? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of the same thing. All right.
Yeah, yes, except for usually the state of plays, they don't really announce big things.
Oh,
Usually that's left for third party deals,
so.
smaller release games, or ports to PC, lately at least.
Oh, because that's weird though. Because I mean, that was a big announcement because they announced Concord. Before they didn't show nothing, and that's something that it was crazily dropped in there, and it's insane because the PlayStation community did not accept this game because a lot of them out there thought this game was going to be the Starfield killer. And it didn't come out the way it is. I mean, seriously, why do they always come up with this stuff instead of waiting for the game to be shown and say, "Oh wow, hey, cool." But no, they gotta come up with theories. Starfield killer. It's gonna be better than Starfield, and that's something I don't understand because they hated Starfield, yet they wanted a game to be kind of like Starfield but better. So I don't understand why they wanted that. But anyways, let's keep on going with this subject because hey, there's gonna be the Starfield Killer. The closed beta on Steam only had up to 900 players. That's not looking good. I mean, seriously, not looking good. So the funny thing is about this Conquer game is that I've been reading through some articles about how Media's trying to push this game to get people to play it. Right? They say that it's better than Overwatch. They've been called Overwatch too slow. It's closer to the game is actually closer to Call of Duty, Destiny, and Halo. That's what they say. I mean, this is something that an article I read from Game Rant, and this is what this person wrote on the article. It says it all runs super smooth as well, with fast-paced, heart-pounding. I mean, literally, it's heart pounding battles that don't call to mind the sometimes slower paced gameplay of Overwatch 2. But honestly, feels like something closer to Call of Duty, Halo, or even Destiny PvP. Concord nails the minute-to-minute action, and it's one of the most exciting FPS games this in years. Huh? Exciting with only 900 players on Steam. Really excited, right? Not only that, I have talked to several people. They gave me some of the reviews. Like for example, they need to fix a little bit on the movement. I've read more about the movement in the game, right? They need to fix like the healing has been a problem. And I also heard someone out there. I'm not gonna mention any names because we don't do that. He also tried to promote this game positively. I mean, I've been trying to promote this game positively because at the end of the day, right? These are developers. They put their heart into it. I don't care if it's a Sony game, okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, I've been trying to tell people, hey, play it. Let's talk about it. Why don't you guys play it? Try it out. At the end of the day, it could be a good game. It could not be. But they're pushing it like this game is like better than all of these games, right? They're calling Overwatch slow. I was like, what? I mean, Overwatch is Overwatch. No matter how you play it, it's a fun game. I don't get it. But yes, my question to you, and let's start with you, Captain. Is there a way they can actually bring the players to try out this game? Is there a way to get the Sony fans to try out this game? I mean, what are they going to do with this? That is my question to you, Mr. San. Give your idea.
Yes, yes, they can. There are many avenues that they could use. One that I would encourage, given the generic look of this game, is I would say make it a free to play. Uh, do the same thing that you ended up doing when you had your kart racer, whatever the hell it was back in the day. And you're like, we're going to charge you for it. And they're like, just kidding. We're giving it to you for free on PS Plus. Um, I would recommend you make it a free to play. $40 still feels like it's too much for what it is. It looks generic. Everything that I saw as far as like gameplay and people playing it, it looks generic still. It doesn't look like it has an identity. Besides looking like a dollar general version of Guardians of the Galaxy, meets like Overwatch. If that makes any sense, it doesn't look like a good thing. And I think to charge anyone for it, like I see people saying like visually it looks amazing. The CG that they showed us at the beginning, that looked amazing. Yes, the game just looks kind of generic. Like it doesn't look like something that's going to stick around for more than 4 to 6 months.
Hmm.
Personally,
4 to 6 months. Do you think it's gonna get the bleeding edge kill or not? Because I mean, bleeding edge when we first saw it, I saw it, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go try it
that
out.
looked terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. I'll try it out. But at the end of the day, bleeding edge, it was like a week thing or probably close to a month, and then all of a sudden like a flat line. They literally just died.
you know, that's I had the exact same effect when I saw Bleeding Edge. Is like Bleeding Edge and Concord both look like things that I never asked for, and I feel like a lot of people never asked for. Feels like it's already a flooded market, and it doesn't seem like coming in at a $40 price point when everyone else, things like Overwatch and other hero shooters, have already secured themselves in that market. Um, it just I don't know. Like it just looks like something that is going to die very fast. Um, yeah, Bleeding Edge was not a good idea. I I don't think I don't think we were all together doing streams at that point. But I remember when they showed Bleeding Edge, I was so excited because I was like, "Oh, dude, it's this team. This is going to be great." And then I saw what Bleeding Edge was, and I was like, "This isn't it at all. No one asked for this. No one wanted this." Like it just I mean, hats off to him for trying to do something different, but it did not strike a chord with anyone that played it, it seems like. So I think
Oh,
that's how Concord will be too.
oh man, let me tell you something. Sourblow just sent me. Just gonna be with your mouth open. I mean, Sourblow just sent me something. I'm like, what? This can't be true. Even Indica, the game I listen, I hate Indica. I mean, seriously, I cannot talk like anything good about Indica. Even Indica had more people playing Indica than freaking Concord. I mean, look, Indica has 33 playing an hour ago, 39 24-hour peak, and it had all time peak 1,105 people playing Indica on Steam, and Concord. had 22 playing an hour ago, 49 and 24-hour peak, and its all-time peak was 372. So Indica had more players than Concord.
Okay,
Oh,
okay. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here, though.
okay, go for it, Blue. Let me add you in there.
It was a closed beta for pre-orders and PS Plus members. Okay,
Okay.
that's my devil's advocate. The open beta actually starts tomorrow, I believe, to everyone.
Plume,
Hmm. Hmm.
I thought that everyone loved PS Plus and used PS Plus though.
Well,
Like
yeah,
I thought
no,
they had all these subscribers.
yeah. See that
So
one,
I
I
thought
can't. I
that
can't devil advocate that one. Yeah, I can't defend that
I
There
one.
mean
you
that's
go.
weird. That's weird, like for a service that I've heard decimates other online services. I'm just kind of shocked that there's just not the support for this new game that everyone's getting behind. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, and we'll see as well starting tomorrow how many people jump into the open beta to see if that makes any difference. Then you'll really see if those numbers stay like low, like even if it's only like a couple thousand, right? Like that's not going to be a very good start for this game. I mean, I didn't try it. I'm probably going to try the open beta just because I want to like really feel it and see like if it's as if it's actually good because we're seeing some people say it's good. I think Digital Foundry said that just today or something that it was a fun game or something and that but they should move
Oh,
to a free to play model. But either way, I want to try it for myself, so I'll probably download the open beta and just give it a quick couple rounds to see what it's all about. But I don't it just doesn't seem like it's going to be successful at all, especially even after when they showed off the original trailer for it and the reaction to that trailer was excitement at the very beginning when they were showing the cutscenes and people were thinking it was going to be some single player experience and then it turned out to be a multiplayer hero shooter which nobody really asked for, even though I do think PlayStation needs a game like this and I do think they need this game to succeed for them because they need some more multiplayer games and stuff. It's a very odd decision over the last, I don't know if it's been like a year and a half or so, all the games that they've canceled that you would have thought would have been far more successful than a game like Concord, but Concord is the game that they decided to push through to production and release and everything. So we'll see how it does. But the other thing is kind of disappointing because even if this isn't a game that is exciting for you or for me or whatever, you sort of do want to see these types of games succeed so that it isn't just the same old games that PlayStation makes going forward. Even on the Xbox side of things, like when you're talking about Bleeding Edge, it failed and I played it and I thought it was a decent game, but it obviously it didn't do well at all. They closed it off right away, but it was just great that Xbox allowed a game like that to be made from Ninja Theory, a game that not many people would have thought that they would have created. So you don't the projects like that, you kind of want to see few of them succeed so you don't get the corporate suits at the top saying just make the same thing over and over again, just make the same remake over and over again like they've been doing with The Last of Us. But I don't know. I don't have too much faith that Concord is going to do very well.
because the thing is so Bloom, because I was actually going to be my next question to you, and that was going to be, will it be better than Call of Duty and all those games? Because the way media is
Yeah.
pushing it, they're saying that like this game is going to kick everyone's butt and they're going to be number one. I really don't understand because that's the thing I don't understand about media. I keep on saying that they keep comparing games, right? They keep comparing, like for example, they're comparing this game to Overwatch, even though it feels like Overwatch. They should just say it feels like Overwatch. That's it. It feels like Overwatch. It feels like Call of Duty and a couple things, But like I sitting there and trying to compare, like calling Overwatch slow, for example, I was like, dude, I don't understand how are you trying to just kill Overwatch the way you're trying to kill it. Like talk bad about Overwatch when it's a game that it was loved. I mean, you even got people doing cross plays. I mean, it was a game that was loved by a bunch of people. It's got competitors out there and everything. I mean, you're trying to show this game that it's actually better than this. And when people try it out, they're gonna be thinking this is gonna be better than Overwatch, and it's not. And you start saying this that it's gonna be better than Call of Duty. It's gonna be better than Halo. It's gonna be better than all these big games that we love. And that's what I say though. Why do you all always keep comparing these games? Not only comparing them, and also saying that it's going to be better. And at the end of the day, when people jump into these games, they say, "Damn, it's not the same." So, Plume, why do you always keep on doing this? I mean, they should stop doing this and just give it their own. How can I say? Like, give it its own story, and stop saying like, "Oh, it's going to be better than this one." I mean, what do you think about that?
Why should the media stop comparing, or why should the games developers stop making games that are trying to be like everything else?
No, no, like why the media always like starts to compare, not only comparing, they're
Yeah,
also saying it's better.
I
It literally kills the game. We saw this with Anthem. Remember, they said it was going to be the Destiny killer. Then we had what was another game out there that was going to be the Halo killer, and it was just because you expect it. You go in there with your head, right? Because it's the thing though, when you hype a game like this, you go in within your head. Oh my god, this got to be better than Halo. I mean, it's got to have some Halo feeling or something. It's got to be better. And when you go in there, it does not play like Halo. It doesn't feel like Halo, and it's something totally different than Halo. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably to capitalize on just hype and the clicks for the game before it comes out, right? To get because there's obviously it's newer games, you have more traction, you have more people interested in wanting to learn more about. So maybe it's just that side of things, but comparing it to those games is stupid. I mean, even comparing anything to Call of Duty or a Call of Duty killer is it never happens. Like Call of Duty has been on top for how long now? I can't even remember. Forever, and they can release bad games and then it will still be on top. So there will never be anything that takes over those games. At least now, at least in the near future. So yeah, doing those comparisons make no sense. If they were, maybe it's because that's I don't know. Maybe it's because that's what they see. That's what they've been told when they're talking to developers, trying to give people an understanding of what the game is like. But yeah, it's not a good look for a new shooter to come out to be compared to games that other people are playing currently, and then they jump into a new game and they feel and they realize it's not like that. They're just going to go back to the stuff that they know and love. It's very hard to break into these multiplayer live service games and keep a community. We've seen it happen so many times because everyone just goes back and plays what they know and they love, the Fortnites, the Call of Duties. We even saw it happen with Halo Infinite at launch, and some of that is also because they didn't have content on their multiplayer, but it was even hard for them to break into that like free to play scene where people had already
Yeah.
the games that were established.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you said something real clear out here. I mean, even Call of Duty can make a bad game, just like Resident Evil. When they made Code Veronica, look at them; they keep on selling great Resident Evil games. And I'm just, just trying to throw some slander dark. I know he's gonna come back and kick us in the butt.
Talk
Yeah.
about another game that no one actually was interested in coming back.
What? Code Veronica?
Code Veronica.
Oh, baby, when that comes back, I mean, I'm silent. Remember, you're gonna
You're
get your
gonna you're
copy.
gonna talk about it just like you talked about Crime Boss, and then when it comes out, you're not gonna buy it, and you're not gonna touch it. And then when you do play it, you're
I
gonna be like,
do.
"Man, this game sucks," and then
I
you're gonna move on
do.
to something good.
Because here's the thing, though. I have a special heart. I have a special place for Resident Evil. I'm a big Resident. I mean, I played
You have a
Resident Evil
special
before.
place in your heart for Chuck Norris,
No,
also, but
I
that
have more.
didn't stop you with Crime Boss.
I have more love. I have more love for Resident Evil. I have more love for Resident Evil. No joke. I mean, Resident Evil was like my very first like really horror scary game. I love it. So yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
Resident Evil comes out. I'll go in all the time and play it. I mean, I love my Resident Evil games. No joke.
Mhm.
So it's like,
Yeah, yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. Yeah.
and
You sound like a couple other snake oil salesmen I've seen online recently.
oh, you're talking about the fake news people that throwing stuff out there. I mean, I even invented something today in my show this morning. I said, you know what? Let me invent something just to get the things trending, just for Rita to pick me up and say something, right? I said, Sea of Thieves is gonna close down the service in what is it, July 30. That's what I said. I invented that thing just for the
Yeah.
heck of it. Since everybody's just throwing stuff out there, why the heck not? Let's
Eh,
give it a go.
is So are you trying to tell me that Helldivers 2 is coming to Game Pass or it's not coming to Game Pass? I'm not sure what you're getting at here.
I don't know, Plume. I don't know about that, Plume. I don't know. I don't know about that because listen, I mean, how many times have we heard of this? This has been said like 3 or 4 times, right? Throughout the course of
Oh,
Taco
it's been.
Dives release.
I think it was said all the way back in like April by Xbox Era or something, or Special Nick said that they had started in talks with potentially getting that over to Xbox Game Pass. But that whole rumor just doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense to me. How that would ever come to fruition? Like, there's just why, in what world would Sony make that deal? I don't know, but hey, maybe it will.
But if they either do the whole PSN account thing and block all the regions, then who the hell
Yeah,
is going to play it?
Well, so here's the thing to that, right? Is if it goes on to there, um, that would be the question, right? Is like if they ended up bringing it multi-plat, do they still carry the requirement for the PlayStation sign-in? Because if you do, then it's dead on arrival, and there's no point to bring it to anything else. because we already saw how fast that game dropped off because of the issue with all those countries.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's one of those things, right? It's like it's a non-starter to bring that game to anything else if you have PSN account required to log into it, because that whole situation caused the issue with all the 170 plus locations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
it,
A-
yeah,
Yeah, and it's like, so I'm trying to think the logistics of how that would even work. And if they came to Xbox and you need a PSN account, people would specifically have to make a PlayStation account just to play the game. But I guess like on Xbox, Sea of Thieves, you have to make an Microsoft or an Xbox account. But
yeah.
the amount of people that probably already have like an Outlook or a Microsoft account of some sort is, it's not, you're not making it specifically, or maybe you are, but you're probably using an account that you've already been using for other stuff. So it's probably a different, um I don't know where I'm looking for, but it's probably like not as hard to get people to do that on the Microsoft side of things. I could be wrong. I'm just trying to think how that would even work. Would an Xbox player make a PSN just to play Helldivers 2 or something?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not the issue. Is not making the PSN though, Blue. Because if that's the issue, just make yourself a PSN account. I mean, I got two PSN accounts. I got two.
Well,
I got one that I recovered from a long
well,
time ago, and I
yeah.
got my old PS, and I got my new PSN account on there that I've been using. Right. So I got two PSN accounts, and if it's only just to put the PSN account, log in and play, that there's no problem. The
Well,
thing is
tell that
blocking.
to some of the Steam reviewers who
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm one of
Um,
them. I'm one of the countries that's blocked. I've been showing it pretty much every morning when I do my show. I've been showing it, and I keep on saying, "Somebody click this and let's throw it out there, see what they say," because nobody has done nothing about it. They're all quiet.
but Louis, keep in mind though,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree. Like, I think the 170 plus country situation, like the territories not having access to it, and then basically just giving them the middle finger and being like, "You bought this game, and if you bought this game, tough luck. Like, you can't play it." That's a problem, yes. But I would also argue that like there's still, you made the comment of if you don't have a PlayStation account, then get a PSN account or whatever. There's folks like myself that don't really trust Sony after the last decade
yeah.
of how many times their stuff's been hacked, leaked. Like I don't want to give you my personal information. As someone who doesn't want to have a situation where someone takes identity or my credit card numbers or anything like that, I don't want to put any of your stuff into your ecosystem because you've continued to prove over and over again that you're not secure enough to keep my content, my information, my personal identifying occasion or identification and stuff like that stuff. You have not shown me that you're responsible enough to watch it and secure it. And so, like, yes, I agree. You could just create an account, but at the same time, if you're going to buy a game, you've got to put a credit card on there.
Mm-mm,
And
mm-mm.
unless
I don't do that.
how are you going to pay with? How are you going to pay for your games?
Oh, what I do is I go buy PlayStation points on Amazon, which that's the only way I
Okay,
trust, and I redeem the code. I
so
don't put my
They're
credit
gonna
card
cut that
info.
off soon, probably.
They
They've been
will.
doing with other stuff. Well, I mean, they're under like a lawsuit. They went through a lawsuit for stopping third party code or point
yep,
sellers to be able to use it on PSN. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go further and further until you only have to buy it in PSN.
Well, that means
yeah,
I'll buy a
it's
PlayStation because I ain't buying no more games on it. I mean, I won't have any use for it anymore if that does happen. I
you
won't.
can
You crazy?
so like yeah, I see people in the chat that make comments like personal information stuff doesn't go in there. Okay, well, if you end up paying for anything on the service without points, or you log in or you sign up for anything, you are putting your information in. Did you log in to Netflix or Hulu or anything in through your system? Then that stuff goes through the same servers. So you also have your information going through there too. So even if you don't give Sony directly your information, it's still going through Sony's servers. Like don't kid yourself thinking that you're safe because like you're doing most of your purchases outside of Sony's ecosystem. You're still putting your information through their system if you're using any other services in their system. It's your stuff is compromised pretty much everywhere you play, yes, but it's yeah. So, and you could do prepaid credit cards, right? Like I hear people say that, yes, but are most people going to waste their time going out there doing a prepaid, getting it activated, purchasing a game? It's too much of a hassle. They'll go to something else.
Yeah.
It's that hack from like 13, 14 years ago, or whatever, that huge one. Weren't they storing users' information in like plain text? It was unencrypted and everything.
Yes.
Like, that was wild to think. And I thought there was another hack recently where it was something similar, but I can't be sure. But I remember that, and that was like a
And one of the excuses for why they kept it in plain text was it was easier for them to aggregate and store in their servers. If it
yeah,
wasn't, and that's like, that's a bad excuse. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, that was
yeah,
wild. I remember that, and it hasn't affected their like hasn't affected the amount of users that they have as that you would have thought to a greater extent, or the amount of people that play their console. So to think that they're making huge changes in on that side of things, I think you'd be pretty naive. It's probably still not very good.
yeah.
Yep. That's how it is. And now let's speak about the true Concord killer, guys, because hey, this is what killed Concord. And yes, I know I did a bad, what's it called? Like, spinning around, I don't know what's it called, I forget. But yes, let's keep on moving on, guys, because man, like I said, we have so much to talk about, but we got to talk about what actually did kill Concord, and that is the first Descent. My God, that first Descent game, guys, that first Descent games, seriously, has been kicking butt. I mean, look, game released, and it's just 7 days. It has 10 million players, which is crazy. Oh, didn't I flip the screen? All right, let me flip the screen real quick. Let me get myself on there. But yes, it's got 10 million players in just 7 days, which is freaking awesome. I mean, First Ascent, I played it, I tried it, and let me tell you all something. It's a fun game. Me and TJ have been rocking through it. We did, I think, a couple missions on there, and it's a fun game. Simple, easy, jump in there, shoot, throw cool grenades. I mean, you got a guy that has a bazooka arm, which is freaking awesome. I like the bazooka arm guy. Then you got a girl that freezes things. I don't know what the little devil guy does, but still have not gotten to that. But hey, First Ascent is a fun game. Fun game, fun game. And like I said, it released last week, right? It's a new sci-fi third-person shooter looter from Nexon that feels like a mix, because it's what I say. This is the proper term. It feels like a mix between Warframe and Destiny and the Division. See? There you go. That's how you gotta talk about it. Stop saying that it feels better than Overwatch 2, the slow Overwatch 2. It has a lot more cooler things than Call of Duty, Halo. No. This is how you gotta say it. It feels like a mix. Beautiful. I mean, that just beautifully describes it. Yet, despite mixed reviews and controversy involving outcomes and game purchase, the first Descent has reached over 10 million players in just 7 days. So, my question to you guys is: did you all try and played First Descent? Let's start with you, Big Plume. I know you probably played it.
Yeah, I talked about it last week. I played it. I wish I could have played more between last week and this week, but again, there's just games coming out that I'm wanting to jump into. And as I said, college football 25 is taking my attention for now. But I loved it. I thought it was extremely fun. Like, gameplay is what's important to me with this style of game, and they nailed the gameplay in my opinion. It's tight, it's fast, it's fluid, all the abilities and everything. I don't care about the story or anything, and I don't think you really have to for this game. It's to me, it's just more you're sitting back, kind of just relaxing and enjoying some good gameplay. So it's awesome, and they've reached like 10 million players. I don't know if you mentioned that or not, but they reached like 10 million players this week. So it is taking off. We'll see how long it does last, but yeah, it's a fun game for sure.
How about you, Sam? Did you try it out?
Nope. I did not, sir.
Aw.
Um, they lost me as soon as I saw a looter shooter. And I was like, nope, I'm good.
It's not actually too bad, because usually like the looter.
That's
No, let's listen. Usually, like the major loot you get after you complete the missions, they give you like the guns and everything. It's not like you have to run around and collect crazy stuff. I mean, yeah, of
sure.
course, but it's fun. It's a fun
And
game.
the gear is pretty cool, and it's I don't know. I know what you're saying with looter shooters. I've like the ones that I've enjoyed playing in the last couple of years has been the Division 2, which I've put a ton of time into,
Mhm.
and now I'm playing this a little bit. So we'll see if there's longevity. My only fear is like the microtransactions and how much that's going to affect the experience since it is free to play. I don't know if Louis, you've had any experience with that or how much
The
you've played it, but
The microtransactions, nah, because yeah, I'm just playing the game. I'm just sitting through it, enjoying it, running through it, just doing the missions. I'm like, because since it's like Destiny, you got to go to places like to buy stuff and talk to people like to order to get stuff. So I haven't really done that much investigating. I just jumped in and just started shooting. That's all I did. Jumped in, let's go, let's shoot everything, shoot everything. That's what I did with the game. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it, and like I said, me and TJ are rocking it. We're really having fun, and yeah, I mean, Santa hasn't tried it, so I
So
mean,
sorry, guys. Sorry. I just as soon as I saw it, I was like, I was playing the game because I currently just have a 1 terabyte expansion card. So I've got that, and then I've got the Series X sitting there. And I was like looking, and I was like, do I have things I want to get rid of on the hard drive to make space for this right now? Or do I want to play these other games? And as soon as I saw Looter Shooter, I was like, we're going to Broforce. And I was like, we're gonna work on those games I already have installed because I feel like recently there have been a few times where I downloaded something and I had every intention of playing it, and then I was like, oh, but this other thing. And so I'm trying to be better at just like whatever's installed, I want to try and beat, I want to get done with so I can make space for another game and keep working through.
all right. All right. And let me just say something real quick because why the heck not? Let me do this amazing shout out to the 18 people here on the YouTube channel. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit that bell. And also, please share it out. And not only that, I don't know if Sourblow will fix it, but I will drop it in just a few minutes right after I move to the next subject because we got to keep on going, guys. We got, like I said, we got so much to talk about, right? And I'll drop in the Discord so you guys can join it. And also, shout out to the 40 people out there watching right now. That is on Twitter, that could be on Facebook, and that could also be on, what is it, Twitch? Guys, if you want to comment, come over here, drop into the YouTube channel, and do the same things I'm saying. Come over here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit that bell. Come on, drop by, guys. Drop by, guys. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. And I know that this news is gonna get silent. Really excited. It's gonna get silent. Super happy because he loved this game too much, and that is silent. We actually got a little leak of Bioshock. I don't know if it's gonna be Bioshock 4. I don't know if it's gonna be the remake of all Bioshocks, but Silent Cypher, did you see the leak? And after you saw the leak, I want to hear from you. What did you feel when you saw this? Are you excited? Are you happy? I mean, talk about it, brother, since you're a big Bioshock fan.
Louis, who told you I was a Bioshock fan?
You did. You talked about it. You play all the Bioshocks. You loved it, didn't you?
Are you sure you're not talking about one of the other guys?
Did I
Because
fail?
I thought it was trash. No, I'm kidding.
I
I'm
know.
kidding.
I was like, wait, this can't be real.
No, so shamefully, I do have to admit, I didn't end up ever finishing Bioshock 3. What was that, Infinite? Um,
Yeah, Bioshock
I
Infinite.
I don't know why I didn't. I need to get back to it, but I really enjoyed number one and number two. I think number one was one of those games where like you only see a couple of them that have that narrative flair to it in a generation. Like I feel like BioShock was something that was unique. It had a very awesome ecosystem, like the world, the environments that you played in. It was freaking rad. The storytelling, everything, like the characters, they did a really good job at building characters that you were interested in, that you were invested in. Um, I really liked those games and the things that they do, the plot twists that they pull, the different things that they do with those games. I really enjoyed those first two. I don't know why number 3 I just didn't jump into, because I was super excited when I saw that first trailer. But for some reason I didn't play it. I've got it installed. It is on my backlog right now. It's on the it's on the shame pile right now. I've got a list of games I'm trying to beat this year, and that's one of them. But I did not see the leaked information, so I look forward to what came across, because I kind of have been radio silent for the last few days online. I post something here and there, and then I just go right back to work because it's been pretty busy. But anything Bioshock has me pretty excited at this point, because we knew that they were working on something. It's been a long time, I feel like, since we've really heard anything substantial. So,
All right, all right. How about you, Big Plume? I mean, are you a big Bioshock fan? I mean, how do you feel? Because really, I cannot comment a lot on Bioshock because, hey, it's one of those games that I basically sat there and I know what Simon's going to say. You said the same thing.
no,
You said the same thing
no.
about, what's it called? The guy, the Iceman dude that run around and that has super magic powers and all that stuff.
Quantum Break.
Yeah, Quantum Break. Yeah, you said the same thing about Quantum Break, Louis. You gotta go play Bioshock.
Sweet Jesus. Here we go. Okay.
See. I know that was gonna come up. I told you I was gonna come up. I knew
Did you beat the game at least, or did you just not?
I got up to the point where you got the B
Oh, goddamn.
superpowers. That's about it.
The B powers? That's like 3 chapters in.
You gotta. That's a stream game. You gotta play through it.
I gotta play
Sweet
through it.
Jesus.
Really?
It won't be as bad as. Wait, we're talking about Bioshock, not Quantum Break, right?
Yeah,
Bioshock, yeah.
Yeah.
Bioshock,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No. Yes. You gotta. Yeah. You play through it.
You
I
gotta
haven't
play
played
through
them. I haven't played them all. I'll be honest. I don't think I played Infinite either.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, the first one, second one, yeah, those are great games. I pretty much agree with everything you said about the games. It was like when that game came out, it took everyone by storm because of the way that they told the story and then the characters in it and everything. So the leak itself is just like a single, unless there's something I missed, but it's just like a single screenshot, right, Louis? Like that.
Yeah, it was just a simple screenshot.
Yeah, there's not much to it. I mean, it looks like graphically improved. It looks like it's from what you can
Yeah,
tell with the.
could it be a remake or could this be an actual part 4? Because I mean, it's interesting, like a little leak. But what is
Oh,
this thing?
there's rumors that they could be doing both because there's another unannounced 2K game that is being worked on, and
Pretty big team too, I think, isn't it?
yeah. And if they were to remake Bioshock, I think that'd be it's time now to remake it. It's been enough time, and people would sell like crazy. So they could be doing both. Maybe it's like one of those things where they're doing the remake, maybe a remaster or something, and they're gonna just give it early while you wait for Bioshock 4 to kind of cash in on that hype for Bioshock 4.
You know, going back and thinking about it, when did Bioshock release? Was it the 360 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 2007 or
Oh.
2008.
Now I know why I didn't. Now I know why I didn't beat the game. Okay, I see what happened. I see. Now I know why I didn't get through it. Okay, I see.
Why?
Because
Explain yourself.
I explained myself. Really, you
Because
want
he
me to
didn't
explain?
like the 360, the amazingness that the 360 was.
No, I had a
He was
360.
too busy on his PS3.
It's
No,
PS3. Yeah.
No,
He's
I
pony
ne-
botting right now, just
No,
like Sour was last week.
No. To be honest, though, the only PS3, and I'm ashamed of it that I sold that I got was the Metal Gear Solid Edition one, and I sold it right away after I beat Metal Gear Solid 4. I was a big
Sold it.
mistake. Yes,
It's probably worth a ton now. How much is that? I wonder how much
Shit.
that's worth.
No, but the thing is,
It's
you
up
can,
there. Yeah.
you could have played back compact games on that Metal Gear Solid PlayStation that was released, man, and it just broke my heart that I
Well-
actually sold it.
Okay, so Louis, I'm going to correct you a little bit.
All right.
Because I had to work in the game store trenches when that console came out.
Right.
So it was the 80 gig system. It did not have 100% back compat.
And then
So the original systems that came out, they had the 20 gig
was-
and the 60 gig.
it was a
Okay.
fat. It was a big fat thing. It was
Yes.
fat and heavy.
Yes,
It was,
it was.
beautiful.
It was. So they had the 20 gig and the 60 gig. They were hardware based backwards compatibility. the 80 gig, the Metal Gear Solid one, was software-based backwards compatibility, and it didn't do 100% of the back compat. The thing that sucked about that system too is it was a Metal Gear edition. It had nothing Metal Gear about it.
Yeah, exactly. It had nothing Metal Gear
It
about it.
literally just
Nothing.
was the disc. It came
That's
with
it.
the game. That's all it
That's it.
was.
That's what it
There
was.
was
Yeah, yeah.
nothing. I was so
I
pissed.
thought, but it was back
It was a
compat
Metal Gear
though.
game.
But it was back
It
compat
was.
though.
It
Yeah, it was. It
was,
was back
but it wasn't
compat.
100% because it was
Oh,
software based. And when
oh.
Sony originally, dude, this I hated this time in the game store because you had to try and educate people who didn't understand. Like, it's you went from the old days of like it's either back compat or it's not, to well, this one's back compat, this one's kind of back compat. Like, all of a sudden it was kind of a different time. But they originally, when the back compat was announced for that one, it was, I think it was only like 50 or 60% of the games that were even back compat,
Hmm.
or less. It started off really low. They increased it a little bit over time, but it was not the full 100%, and it wasn't as functionally capable as the hardware based back compat was. It didn't work as well, is what I mean. Like, it worked okay, but you did run into weird snags and stuff because it was software based instead of right off the hardware.
So real quick, why you asked me this question, and yes, I'm gonna have to publicly say it, and I'm ashamed of it, but hey, it was just I was young, living in Dominican Republic, right? And games, were $60 for me. They were like 4,000 pesos. So yes, I wasn't making enough money. So yeah, I had the Xbox, kind of, 360 back in the day. So imagine yourself that I had just a full library of games for like $3. So pretty much
Wait,
when
what?
yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
Wait, are you saying you pirated?
Yes, yeah.
Hey,
You
So,
there was a guy who lived near
so
who lived near me back in the day during the 360 era who literally made a living by selling pirated 360
yep,
games.
no joke. Yeah, I know a lot of guys who did that here. I mean, this was insane. It was insane. I mean, well, like I said, we live in Dominican. I didn't make enough money back in the day, to say let me go buy a new game each time it came out. Not only that, 360 era was literally 30 games releasing in the same month. It was insane, like top 30 games released in 1 month. So
three
yeah,
360 era was also when it started to get really dangerous to pirate games
yeah,
because you had some of those online checkpoints where if you
Yeah.
logged
hmm
into your Xbox Live, they're like, "Hey, that disc isn't ours."
exactly.
Um, that was
You
an
can
interesting
never,
time.
yeah, you can never connect online if you had a pirated disc on your 360, or at least
Exactly.
after a while. I think at the beginning, people they weren't catching it, and then, like you
At
said, they started
at
catching on to
Yeah,
it.
they started
at the
catching it.
beginning you could do it, but you couldn't do it with multiplayer games. If it was
Yeah,
single player, it was fair game, you were
Yeah.
fine. But
Yep.
if you did anything multiplayer and you jumped onto a server, you
I
were
mean,
banned within
I
like 24 hours.
you guys want to laugh? I got GTA 5 a month prior from the game release. I mean, seriously, I got it right there.
that
I
was
didn't.
at
I
the end
didn't
of the
play
generation.
it. I actually
It was.
didn't play. I didn't play it though. I didn't play it because I said, I don't want to, hop in and the achievement comes up and Louis is banned because and the funny thing is, how I found that out that you can actually part of 360 was because you remember the whole Ring of Death thing situation.
Yep.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Oh,
So,
yes, I do.
oh yes, the Ring of Death. So
I lived through it.
basically,
Sucked.
I got my 360 after playing it throughout a year because it was always happening like after a year. Ring of Death. It's like, damn it. So yeah, I had to grab my 360 and look for somebody to fix it. And I went into the suburbs. There was only this one guy who actually fixed them. Went into the suburbs. He fixed the thing and said, "Hey, yo, look at this. I mean, we made these games. You won't get banned. Blah blah blah." I'm like, "Are you serious?" I thought he was joking. Then I found another friend of mine was doing it, and then I found another friend of mine was doing it. I said, "You know what? Let's do it." I mean, why the heck not? And man, that was the biggest mistake of my life because listen, if I had a backlog in Xbox One in 360, oh my god, oh Jesus, you know. Yeah, but that was me back in the day. Sorry, guys. I mean, that's
No,
how it was.
it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like, we were
Mhm.
young and we didn't have the funds that we have now or
Exactly.
that we wish we had now too, right? Like I get it. I During the Red Ring, I was working at the game store. I was making about 7.25 an hour, I want to say. I was not pulling it in. I was a poor just out of high school employee at a video game store. So I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. Like I lived and died by the fact that since I worked at a Hollywood Video and Game Crazy because they were connected, I got up to 3 rentals at a time, unlimited, right? So like there were days when I was off of work where I would come in the morning, I'd grab a couple 360 games, I'd burn through one of the stories, I'd come back, I'd turn that game in, I'd get a different one, and I
Yeah.
would just keep loading myself up with video games or movies or whatever because I couldn't afford to buy all those games brand new.
Nope.
Like I wasn't rolling in money. I was
No.
poor. I was young.
That
Like
was
that
good.
wasn't gonna happen.
I
Like
was in high school, so I was a minor, so I can't get in trouble for anything I was doing back then. So I'm not even worried about
I I can't well, I was for the first couple years that I was there, but yeah, towards the end when the 360 and all that stuff came out, yeah, I was not a minor anymore. But I dealt with the Red Ring while I was still underage from drinking, and the Red Ring time frame was the worst time
Yes,
to
it
be in the
was.
gaming industry because like
I mean,
I kid you not, like our store was small, okay? So it's not like a GameStop. Like if you're not familiar with Game Crazy was a very small version of GameStop. It was basically like the little indie brother to GameStop, right? Um Around like the height of us hitting the Red Ring of Death occurrence when that whole thing went on and they started accepting systems back and Microsoft was giving refunds and stuff and swapping people out, we had over 120 consoles in the back office that
wow.
were stacked. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
And they were stacked. We actually had to start restacking them lower because originally we had like one or two rows that were up against a wall and we just put bungees against it to keep it supported. But we had so many 360s and we actually had a couple start falling because they got like top heavy because of like the stacks getting too high. So we had so much back there we could barely even use our back office. Um, it was it was a bad time. And
Yeah.
everyone that came in treated you like you were Microsoft. They're like, you're the asshole that sold me a broken system. And we're
Yep.
like, dude, we got the systems. We're just selling them to you. Don't kill the salesperson. Like we did not do this to you. It sucked, dude. Like that was and to see all those systems get destroyed and damaged over time, like it hurts. Like it left a mark because like that point in the generation really sucked as a gamer.
Yes, it did. It did for all of us. I mean, I listen. When that whole ring of death happened, I mean, I was one of those guys that were like, "Yeah, let me do the child trick." Guess what? It didn't work. Let me
Well,
do
Oh,
this
that,
other thing. It didn't work.
and
Let me do this other thing. It didn't work. I was pissed. But then, there was a
yeah,
360 because it's funny. They all had like cool names. There was one called the Falcon. There was one called the Hawk. There was one called Eagly. There was one called Pikachu. I mean, they had all different
there
names for.
wasn't Pikachu.
I know, but
Shut
there
up.
was.
No, no, you're lying. Um,
But you know what I mean,
no,
though. They had like different
yes.
names. Like, what's
Well,
happening?
yes, because
And the
they
best
they
one
had
was the
multiple
Falcon.
iterations. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
the
had
best one was the
multiple
Falcon.
iterations. They had you had your 20 gig and your 20 gig and I think it was your 2 gig core system at the time, and then they started having the red rings. Things fell to crap. I think they had one revision before they ended up shifting to the Elite version 1 console.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean like it was one of those things where they were trying to figure it out. The towel trick worked for some people, but it only worked for a little while too. And
Yep.
especially if you were in a climate where the temperatures range. So like
Mm-hmm.
Plume or myself, for example, if you were in like an ambient temperature between like 70 to 90 on a regular basis, you'd be fine. But if you had anything fluctuating past that, you were screwed, because what would happen was the solder on the chip would actually break over time. Like, it
Yep.
would heat up, it would cool, it'd heat up, it'd cool, it'd stress fracture. And as soon as it couldn't detect that processor, you were SOL. And so
Yep.
that was the whole idea with the towel trick, is like, if you overheated it, you'd melt the solder again and it'd reconnect itself. And that worked until it got cold or hot, or cold or hot again, and then it would just stress fracture. So you were literally just buying yourself like a couple weeks or a couple months here and there. Uh, it was a bad time. And once they minimized the size of the chip and they dropped the nanometer size of the chip and got the heating under control, they were in a better spot, and you didn't have to worry about those issues as much.
Yep.
Elites had a couple red rings, I think, but it was significantly less, and that was where they started to kind of turn the ship around.
It was messy times. It was messy times, man. It was messy times. But
Yeah.
anyways, let's move on up, guys. Because listen, I was gonna talk about Driver. I mean, Ubisoft was working on Driver, but I don't know if you guys are Driver fans and want to tackle it down. But if not, we'll move to the what's big news, because man, there has been so much massive news with Xbox today. And I really want to take it down. To
Louis,
what's up?
Louis, before we jump onto that, do you want to throw out that member chat real quick?
Yes, I will. I was gonna hop into it, and yes, MJ Dark with the beautiful, awesome 11-month first class. What is this, super chat? Okay, it's a member chat. Okay, member super chat, right? He says, I cannot wait to fly to Utah and hand deliver a copy of Code Veronica remake to Silent Cypher. Code Veronica is the best R8, Nintendo's the best. But Dark, don't forget one thing though. I mean, you gotta take him the Code Veronica and also the new Switch. Remember, he loves Switch too. No, I'm just messing. Oh Lord, Silent's gonna troll me today.
Well, so we'll go ahead and say this, right? If Dark flies all the way over here to hand deliver me a copy of Code Veronica, I will accept it. I will still blow it up like I told you I would, because if I get a physical copy of that game, I'm going to destroy it.
Uh,
Um, but if you're going to give me a Switch too, also, yeah, I'll accept it. Um, if that console is not a significant step in in power from the original Switch, though, I'll probably blow it up too.
I don't think it will be, so you may as well get ready.
Better start storing my M80s. Get ready for this.
But anyways, man. You guys want to talk driver? Should we continue on to the Xbox big news? I mean, we got some big news from Xbox. Just big
Yeah.
news. All right. Let's tackle down with the big news then. All right. So moving on up, guys, to the big Xbox news. And before that, just want to tell you all this real quick. Pirating is bad. Do not do it. Do not fall for that trick. It's better for you to go out and buy your game because you're more selected to buy it. And not only that, when you buy it, you're forced to play it. When you have pirated games, you don't play them. I mean, I had like 200 copies, 300 copies of games, and ask me how much games did I beat. I probably beat not nearly half of those games, so do not get them. Don't fall for that trick. Buy your games, because that way you're forced to play them and enjoy them. And if you don't like it, just return it. You get your money back and buy the next game you want to play. That's the advice I give you. Because look, we're talking about Bioshock. Did I play it? Yes. I went up to I got the B thing, and then another game came out and said, you know what, let me go try this game, and totally forgot that Bioshock ever existed. That's what happens when you do all that stuff. So don't do that, guys. It's not good. Don't do that. Not only that, it's better. Just buy your games. Just buy your games. But anyways, since we're on the subject with Xbox, man, let's talk about the best news that's been happening down and tackling down, right? With Xbox. I mean, it's been one amazing day today. Crazy good news just dropping by with Xbox that I'm like, whoa, what happened? Like all of a sudden, everything just boom. I mean, first off, let's start with this. Amazon's Fallout TV adaptation nominated for 60 Emmy Awards. Fantastic. Super happy about that because, man, you all watch the show. If you all have not watched it, seriously, since a lot of people right now have purchased the Fire Stick, which is another subject we're going to tackle into the Fire Stick purchase, right? You guys bought a Fire Stick, go ahead and watch the show. This show is great, hands down. I mean, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Not only that, it got me to go back and play Fallout, a game that I played through it and didn't actually beat it. And now I'm going through it to beat it and really enjoying that game. Something because basically I was like, oh, what's going on here? Okay, cool. But didn't really fall in love into it until I watched the TV series, which got me intrigued to go play the game. Seriously, great stuff, great stuff. So the nominees are right. If you guys should I go through the nominees or not? Because there's like 16, and it's got outstanding drama series, outstanding lead actor, outstanding production design, outstanding fantasy sci-fi costumes, which dead on, it was great. Outstanding main title design, outstanding period or fantasy sci-fi. They really actually nailed the period. I mean, it was freaking. It felt. I mean, it felt like it was Mad Max, but but without cars. I mean, it was freaking awesome. It was freaking awesome with big ass ships and big ass armors, right? Prosthetic makeup, music supervision, sound and editing for comedy, outstanding sound mixing for comedy, outstanding visual effects, stunt coordination, stunt performance, writing for a drama series, and emerging media program. I mean, seriously, it was just awesome. So I wanted to ask the panel, with the Fallout being such a success with Xbox. So the question is, with Fallout being such a good success, right? What Xbox first party series would you like to see a TV series be made? Let's start with you, Captain.
An Xbox IP being made into a TV series.
Yes.
That's a hard one.
I got mine. I don't want to say it till the end. I don't know. I'm waiting for y'all to see if you guys can say in chat. Join in for the fun. Go ahead and say which IP would you like, to be put on TV shows.
I mean, I would say something like Starfield, just because like that's a pretty common ground, right? You had like Stargate, you had all those other ones, Star Trek, all the different things and stuff. So like you could do something like that, but I would want something different. God, that's a good question, and it's hard because I'm like trying to think up like what games we have. I wish you had the picture from the game showcase. Show me all the different games that have come out recently, or they're coming out.
Mm.
Hmm.
I got one. I mean, I got one. I don't know if you guys are gonna say it, but man, I would really love to see a TV series on this one. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm gonna cheat a little bit because Geek to Sneak in chat actually just dropped it. Gears of War is
All
something
right.
that I would like to see, and I think you know what?
Damn
I'm
it.
pretty sure weren't they doing a movie?
They're
I
Like I
working on
thought that
something, yeah.
They're working on something, yes. And damn it, Dark, you took my idea. Come on, Dark.
it
Why?
That
was
was
it was rumored that they were going to have Batista in it too.
Yeah, Batista was supposed to be in it. That was like
yeah.
years ago. It was gonna be Dave
Yeah,
Batista as Marcus.
it was a
But
long
li-
time ago.
but listen, if you're gonna put Dave Batista, please tell him to take the face away that he's always about to sneeze. Because I don't know if you remember that
Dude,
zombie
that's
movie.
his face always.
No, he's
What are you
like
talking
his
about?
face was like always. I'm not making fun of Batista, right? I'm not trying to make fun of him. But throughout the zombie movie, he was always like he's about like achoo. I mean,
Dude,
it was
that's literally how he looks in every movie. When he was Hinks, or when he was Jinx, I think it was, or Mr. Hinks, whatever it was, in James Bond, he always looked like he was about to sneeze. When he
really.
was in Blade Runner, he always looked like he was about to sneeze. He just has this look on his face, like he reminds me of Schwarzenegger in Total Recall, right before his eyes bulge out of his head because of
Yeah.
the lack of oxygen.
I mean, Dark took my idea, man. My idea was Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein will be
Oh, Wolfenstein would be good, yeah.
perfect. It would be perfect to have a TV series about it because it's just got so much story, so much history, and why the heck not? It would be fun to have a series that changed the whole thing with the World War. It would be fun to see what happens. After that. That's what Wolfenstein is about. You know, it's fun, and you got this guy just trying to take down, Hitler and everything. I mean, wow, it would be freaking an amazing TV show that happened. It'd be freaking amazing. It'd be freaking amazing. How about you, Plume? Which one would you choose?
Well, Gears would have been my number one choice as well. They are actually, I just looked up,
Sorry.
making a Netflix. So it's coming to Netflix. They're making a TV series again, or a movie. So we'll see how that turns out. But I don't know what else could they do.
I mean, we got Halo.
Got
Already.
Halo, got
We got
Gears.
we got Gears.
Halo already happened, and they ruined that with
Yeah, that was my other thing I was gonna say is that like I don't want any TV adaptations for games that I love because I don't trust
yeah.
the people not to ruin it and to put
Yep.
the flair that they want on it. So for me personally, I know that a lot of people love some of the changes, but like I just leave it alone.
You don't want to experience all your characters and their giant ass cheeks on the
No,
screen.
I
You don't want
no,
that.
no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
past that point in my life. I'm good with not seeing that stuff. So
So yeah,
Come on, man. I would have thought from the pie man himself that you wouldn't mind,
that
some giant meaty
I was
bits. But
that was in my younger years. You guys can see I've
that's
aged a bit since
that's
then. So
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean,
You've
Dark
aged like a fine wine.
MJ Dark says Perfect Dark could be also a great TV series, which is true. And if you're gonna do Perfect Dark, use the girl who did the movie called Anne. I don't know if you guys saw it. Great movie. She was like literally the John Wick of females. That girl kicked some ass. I can imagine her playing Joanna Dark. She
I,
probably made what?
I was gonna just do a low blow and say I'd love to see a Hi-Fi Rush anime series, but I don't know if that's gonna happen now.
Oh no! Oh,
Oh,
too soon.
oh
Oof.
my
Oh man.
god. Oh man, come on, chat. Come on, let's dig it up. Come on, which would you like to
Okay.
see? Man,
Dark, dark, wet. The game. That wasn't a Microsoft game.
what was what?
Yeah. Do you remember the video game Wet?
Wasn't that like published by EA?
There was a game
I
called What, I
think
remember,
so,
but what
if I
was it? Why
remember
why is
correctly.
it called What though? I mean,
Louis,
now
Louis, I'm gonna let you figure that out.
if you were
No, that's Talos Ray actually brings up a really good point, dude. Fable,
exactly Fable.
Fable would
Well,
be
yeah, that
great.
would be
Fable.
cool
Okay,
for sure.
MJ Dark
Fable.
says so it was a Bethesda game. My
Oh,
bad.
it's
Yeah.
Bethesda game.
Okay.
Oh, but
So
that's
it would have.
oh
So it
interesting.
would be technically. I.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Know about that? But yeah,
I Evil Within. There we go. That's what I'll say. I
Oh,
ooh.
know. I know that they
that's
just got
another
closed down. It's a
low blow.
hi-fi rush situation. It's a low blow. But I'm. You know what? I'm still very disappointed. I've got dad vibes, very strong dad energy towards Microsoft about Evil Within. Um, you've screwed over some of the IPs that I enjoyed over time, like Halo. Pisses me off a lot that you ended up burying Evil Within because I really enjoyed that game, and that makes me very disappointed. Given that thing had a lot of potential. Um, yeah. Or hey, Prey. He brings up Prey as well. MJ Dark does that. Yes, that would be great as a movie.
I do
That'd
not
be
know
great.
why, son. I still don't know why EA has not sat down and said, "Okay, let's do a Dante's Inferno movie, or let's do a what you call it, a what's the other game? Oh my god, what's the other game?
EA has a
Um,
lot of games, Louis.
yeah, that one,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Like you're
other,
gonna
that
have to
other,
narrow it down,
Dead
homie.
Space, Dead Space,
Um,
Dead Space. I don't know why
yes,
this still Dead
yes.
Space has not come to the big screen. I mean, they did an anime, which is pretty cool, but we wanted to
Yeah.
come to big screen. I mean, it'd be freaking awesome. But yeah, since we're still in the Xbox thing, I mean, Fable's a good one too. We're still with let's see, Fable. What's another good game that Xbox has? Because man, it just has so many games.
They probably could make like something with State of Decay, just like another zombie game.
Yes, they
Yes.
can probably do it. Some, you're right, Plume. That'll be good. I mean, that's a good idea. State of Decay would be freaking phenomenal to get it on there on the split screen.
Although that being said, I kind of feel like you almost have to give it a little bit of time before you jump back into the zombie trend,
Yeah.
because zombies went so far to a
Yeah.
point. Like even Walking Dead, like the zombie thing, got to a point where they did Fear the Walking Dead and some of those things as well, and they literally just they watered down
Mm-hmm.
the zombie formula to a point where people are like, yeah, we don't really care about zombies right now. Like, let's do something else.
Yeah, we've been getting zombies for like the last what 20 years, and it all started with what 28 days later, and after days later release, it's been
You know,
zombie.
there's a new one coming,
I
right?
know, I know. I'm hyped for that one, of course, because it's a good
I'm
movie.
excited about that.
I'm excited about that too. But damn, all we've been getting is zombie. We even got Zombieland. We got the guy from England. What's that movie called? It was funny. Shaun of the
Shaun of the
Dead.
Dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fun movie.
See, and there
Yeah.
were a lot that did a really good job at tackling it. There were just unfortunately some things where, like, Walking Dead, as much as I enjoyed the first few seasons, they overstayed their welcome to a point. Like, and as soon as I came, like, I feel like we just kind of dropped off. Like, I just didn't want to do that anymore. You're starting to see some of the games and stuff come back in zombie nature, like Dying Light, Dead Island, things like that. Those have been great. But yeah, I feel like for a long time they just kept bringing out stuff that no one cared about, and it just, yeah, I don't know, man. I think they need to wait on zombies for a while, just like they need to wait on Halo.
Wow, my God, my God. I mean, wait, let me jump real quick because we got a couple super chats to jump in. Hold on, where is the okay, I got it here. All right, here we go with the super chat. Sam J. Dark with a beautiful and awesome $2 super chat. He says, "You guys talking Smiley Man Famicom Detective Club? What is he referring to? Smiley Man Detective Club. What's that?
I have no idea what that is.
Plume, do you have any idea what that
Plume?
is? Yeah,
Oh,
Plume.
that's the new Switch game that they announced today.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I have no idea. Someone shared us like a developer interview or something, and I haven't gotten to look at it.
all right, another beautiful and awesome $2 super chat, but this comes from John TJ, and he brings a good point. He says StarCraft or Microsoft or Crackdown TV series of StarCraft. Because we already got the one that's how Bull likes a lot, Warcraft, right? We already got a Warcraft movie, wasn't it? We had a Warcraft movie going on.
Yeah, did you
Uh,
did you like that movie? I feel
yeah,
like nobody liked it. I actually enjoyed it.
yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good. Even my wife liked it, and that's weird. She likes like, yeah.
I wasn't the audience.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I'll
It
say
was
it
good.
was
It was
good.
decent. It
It
wasn't
was
as bad
decent.
as because I watched
Yeah,
it late after, like years after it came out, and I remember
yeah,
everyone hating on it. And I think it's not as bad as everyone thought it was.
Mhm.
yeah. You're right about that. You're right about that. Oh man, Tyler's bringing up Red Dead Redemption TV show. Oh my god. I mean, I wish, but to be honest though, nah, I don't think it deserves because basically the whole game is the TV show. I mean, you play through it, it's fun. I mean, it's one of the best stories in video game history for me. Red Dead Redemption's got the best stories. It tells you like if you're actually watching the TV show. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I could definitely see that. I mean, probably so. GTA, yeah, I don't know about GTA. I don't know about GTA.
Well, yeah, I could see it to an extent, but I mean, because the thing is, right, is like GTA literally pulls from so many other sources, right? Like GTA 5 is literally Heat, the movie. Like they even have the giant heist, just like Heat. So
Oh,
you know,
right,
it's
right.
one of those things where, like, if they just pulled from all those different heist movies and mob movies and stuff, you could make something decent for that. That would be cool. But I feel like it already exists, right? Because they literally just borrowed from stuff that already existed. So it would just kind of, it almost feel like a knockoff to the content that they're referencing.
This Dishonored would be another great one that Dark mentioned. It would be a good
That's a good
thing.
point.
Oh, you know what would be a good one? And they actually, since it's kind of close to Fallout, ah, this one that Bethesda made, it was a good game. A lot of people liked it. Oh my God, it looks like a Mad Max game. Oh Lord, keep forgetting
Rage,
it.
You're talking
rage.
about Rage.
Rage,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Rage would be a great TV show.
Rage
That
would be
TV,
good.
it
Yeah.
should be good. Heck yeah, you know
Honestly, they just need to do, we need to see more in the Mad Max world.
exactly. I agree. Mad Max.
Um,
Which there was a new movie called Furiosa. I haven't watched it yet, but we'll get to that later.
I think he did pretty good too.
Yeah, I did pretty good.
Yeah. I saw it. It was
Anyways,
good.
Oh,
we're
you
moving
liked
on.
it? Nice.
I
It
enjoyed
was.
it. Yeah,
You
it
did
was awesome.
okay. All right, good. And speaking about awesome guys, look, this again more great news. College football 25 seemingly leads to huge spike in Xbox console sales. Oh my god! Incredible, guys! A third-party game actually increased console sales. Huh. It's not even 48 hours since Sports College Football 25 arrived on the Xbox Series X. Let me get myself on screen. I keep forgetting that. Real quick. Here we go. Yay! There I am. Okay, so hasn't been 40 hours right on Xbox Series X and Series S as part of the Deluxe Edition and free Game Pass Ultimate Trial, and it's already proving extremely popular. In fact, it's been so popular that some reporters are suggesting that it's led a huge spike in Xbox sales, specifically for the Xbox Series S. Here's what the insider Gaming's Mike Straw had to say about this on Tuesday. So this is what he said real quick. Let me drop into it. He says, "Tell us how big is college football 25? I've given some numbers to suggest that the last 24 hours have seen the highest number of Xbox Series S consoles sold since around the console's launch, which that is freaking amazing. Like I said, lots of good news today on Xbox. And my question to the panel is this: third party games actually sell more consoles than first party games? What do you guys think? Plume, let's start with you.
Louis,
Yes.
it's not a serious question, is it? Is that a serious question?
Yes, it is.
Just kidding. Of course. Of course, third party games push more consoles than first party games. It's always been like this. And people always think that it's first party games that sell consoles. But the beauty of the Series S is that it's so cheap and that you get to play all of these AAA games. And people will pick up Series S's just to play games like Call of Duty. So with this news about the college football game, it's not surprising. It's been a long time coming. People have wanted a new college football game, like I said, for at the beginning of the show, for like it's been 10 years since the last one came out. So if you're out there and it's the only game you want to play all year, so only game that you're jumping into, that and maybe like probably Madden as well, you are gonna look at your options to play it, and the Series S isn't like literally an option you can't refuse at the price point and everything. And then you factor in the Game Pass and the EA Play access to it as well via Game Pass Ultimate 10-hour trial. Plus, those games all actually drop into Game Pass at a later date. It's a huge reason why this Series S, I think, was a good move since the beginning of this generation. Just for the gamers out there that are, I guess you can consider them the more casual gamers if they're just playing like a sports game and then like Call of Duty and that's it. It's a great option. So yeah, it's huge, and we're always gonna see this happen. Um, think about what's gonna happen when Black Ops 6 comes out, and
Mm.
like logically, if you're not interested in playing a catalog of games, you're just gonna go out and buy Black Ops 6, and if you don't have a console, you're gonna buy a console. And Xbox starts being able to market that on the Series S up to 120 frames per second because the game on the Series S does get that. People are gonna be buying tons of consoles for that as well. So yeah, this isn't a surprise.
All right. All right. How about you, Silent Cypher? What do you got to say about this? Do games, third party games, actually sell more than first party games? Because, hey, it's another narrative that we have destroyed again and again and again from the PlayStation fanboys that keep on saying that first party is what matters. What's your opinion on this, buddy?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what third party it is, what game it is. If it's a Madden, then yes, absolutely. Um, Depending on what third party game it is, for sure. I think I think when a company chooses to inflate the sales of a first party game by adding it as a an add-in in the console box, right? So for example, like God of War with the console or stuff like that, when you attach it to the console sales, you might potentially beat out some of the third parties, depending on the size of the third party game. But in general, yes, third parties are always going to trump first party. realistically. Like it depends on what game it is, but in general, like the more places you can get the game, the better your game's going to do, right?
Yep.
Like that's
Yeah.
what we've literally been seeing Microsoft telegraph over the last year ish,
Mm-hmm.
is
And
like if we put our game in more places, shocker, we're going to sell more copies. We're going to have more engagement. So yeah, I mean, third parties in general are always going to beat it out unless it's like a small game that you're comparing it to.
and man,
Yeah.
since you're on that subject, and man, we got the graph right here because it was gonna be like the one of the last things we talk about. So let's drop it in right away and just leave the GeForce for the last topic. So that one's gonna be quick. But yeah, you're right about that. I mean, look, like today, all of a sudden, we see the news go out there saying Xbox Studios player numbers graphic provides interesting look at Microsoft most played franchises. I mean, look, Fallout 76 has 20 million players as it is of today. Forza Horizon 5 has 40 million players. Grounded, 20 million players. Microsoft Flight Simulator, 50 million players. Overwatch has 100 million players. Sea of Thieves has 40 million players, and Starfield has 14 million players. So let's take away Overwatch, right? Since it was a recent purchase, still it's 149 million players in total. With Overwatch, it's 249 million players. So really, since you're on that subject, real quick, Science Cipher, I mean, damn, does the strategy work for open up all the doors and get more players to join the game from other platforms? It's working, is
I
it?
mean, unless you're, how do I say this? Um, Unless you're brand blind and you're only focused towards a specific brand that you like, you see this success and you have to accept that like someone has figured it out and someone has succeeded in a massive way. Um, that's what you see with these numbers, right? Is like that's a lot of people. That's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people. And again, it goes back to what we've talked about is like the more avenues that you make your game available for people to play in, the more people you're going to have in your game. Like it's just math. It's
Yeah.
basic math. You make more it's it's just like if you put a piece of wood, right, on top of your house and you poured water on it, what water is going to get in? It's not going to get in to start off with. It's going to take a while. It's going to have to really absorb. But if you put a whole bunch of holes through the piece of wood, that water is going to come running right through. Why? Because the more points of contact you have, the better chance of water absorption you're going to have. So it's the same thing with video games. The more points of contact you have for a consumer to buy your game or play your game, the more you're going to sell or the more active and concurrent users you're going to have. Your monthly active users are going to spike to a point that the competition can't even fathom because the competition is still thinking in old generation thought. Like currently, not to bash on them more than we already have, but you look at someone like Sony and they still just have not really come to a more modern way of thinking in regards to
Mm-hmm.
their approach.
Yeah.
It's what it is. Like we've seen it time and time again. It's the reason why their games as a service failed is because they were like instead of one or two games as a service that we're going to focus on and we're going to make these the biggest games and everyone's going to love them, they're like we're going to give you 12 of them. And they threw them out there and they're like, "You know what? This isn't sustainable." And so they canned all of them. And what are they going to get now? What? We have Concord that's probably not going to do almost anything.
Nope.
They continue to go back to the same behaviors that they have in the past, whereas Microsoft sees the opportunity forward to get more people involved in their ecosystem, and they're taking advantage of it.
Yep. That's how it is. That's how it is. And Plume, since we're on that subject, Mr. Plume, I mean, listen, because I have heard many times that Xbox doesn't have any games, and if they do, nobody plays them, right? So, Plume, seriously, give me your thoughts about this since they opened up their doors and said, hey, listen, let's put our games over here, over there. Let's put our games pretty much everywhere we can to get more players. And looking at these numbers, right? Are they doing great? And actually, are people playing Xbox games?
Yeah, I mean, of course, people are playing Xbox games, and I think their strategy is the correct, smart strategy going forward, and it is the strategy that the like PlayStation, their one of their competitors, is following. We are seeing them slowly progress into that to try to get more people to play their games with all of their PC releases. You see Lego Horizon uh, on the Switch. Some reason it didn't get onto Xbox, but maybe it will at some point. But they are now more and more willing to, I guess, piss off their core fan base. At this point, they're probably seeing the numbers, the suits in the boardroom, and they're looking at, okay, this is the um, threshold. This is the amount of copies we'd have to sell on PlayStation, on the PS5, and this is how many people are buying these games. This is the development costs continuously increasing. And there's no way they could make that number. There's no way they could sell enough to get the ROI that they want if they continue with their same strategy. And I think there's a couple of reasons. I mean, the first thing, like I said, development costs going up, more time, more money. Also, you have to look at like the transfer rate of PS4 gamers to PS5. It's like there's still 50% of their consumer base on the PlayStation 4. So that is another thing. Like, do they want to keep making their first party games for PS4? Probably not. So they have to find other ways to get them onto other platforms, PC and beyond. And if once you start releasing your games everywhere, you don't always have to worry about that consumer base um, not being able to access the game. So it is a smart strategy. They have tons of players. The Fire Stick, like we talked about this in previous
Mm-hmm.
episodes, is a great move. It's a great move. It's a smart move. The only thing I think Xbox is missing right now is, and I'm sure it'll happen. I don't know why they haven't put it out yet, but I feel like they have to have just like only a cloud streaming tier for Game Pass where it's cheaper than the ultimate price. Because if you're picking up the Fire Stick, you probably don't would be a lot more enticing to pay like $10 a month just to get cloud streaming only, and not have to worry about being able to access it on other platforms. So I don't
Yeah,
know, but
that's an interesting thought, and I did not think about it because look, I mean, we saw the Prime Day deals. I mean, if you guys have not gone out there and snagged a Fire Stick or 4K Max, especially since it's on $35. I mean, the thing is on $35. Not only that, plus with the controller, the Xbox controller, which is Prime Day of the deal. I mean, it's freaking amazing. It's an amazing price. I'm looking at it right now. You got the Xbox Fire Stick 4K Max with a Shock Blue Core wireless controller bundle that is at $78, which the normal price is $125. You also got the Fire TV, the Carbon Black Xbox Core wireless controller bundle, which is at $68. So literally just snagging this up is freaking amazing. I mean, that bundle deal is freaking awesome. If people did not snag that up, I mean, seriously, go ahead and get it. If you don't want to get a controller and for that price, because how much is the controller though? Is it 60, 70 on the Xbox controller?
Usually 60.
Usually 60?
70 if it's one of the fancier ones like the Vapor or whatever, like
Yeah.
the Vapor series.
So yeah, imagine you get the controller plus 1 month of Game Pass, which we all know is going to increase to $20, and a 4K Fire Stick, which the normal price of that sucker is $60. Fire for 4K Max. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I mean, if you had not snagged that up, go ahead and snag it. Go ahead and buy it, guys. I mean, seriously, it's a fun way to game. I mean, I'm getting mine because I mean, when I was trying to play it on here, I said, "What is it not available because of where I live?" But then I found out, and I was reading through it. I was like getting some data. I figured out, damn, it's that my Fire Stick is really old. It's like 2020 or something. So yeah, I needed to upgrade my Fire Stick now. So yeah, it's time to upgrade and get a new Fire Stick. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna snag that beautiful blue controller. Why the heck not? It looks so beautiful. I want to get it. But yeah, I mean, there's so much deals right now with the Xbox, and that's freaking amazing. They're trying to do the best to get people onto Game Pass, right? They're trying to do the best. They're doing really good marketing, and seriously, they're nailing with the marketing now, which I'm amazed because this is something we have complained so much that they got to do better with the marketing scheme. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that one.
And just the overall marketing. I mean, I think it's been better. Yeah, I mean, it's been better. I don't know if they're nailing it 100%, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
been better.
it's been better. We gotta
It's
say it's
been
been
better.
better. How about you, Son? You think they're nailing with the marketing or not?
I agree with Plume. It's better. It's better for sure. But like, let's not forget, because again, like I feel like sometimes we get called out and they're like, oh, you're just a bunch of Xbots. Um, let's not forget about the fact that they literally just announced that they're changing the prices for Xbox Live Ultimate. Right,
Yeah.
like Game Pass Ultimate is going up in price. We talked about it last time, of course, but it's one of those things where it's like, as a consumer, I'm not impressed or pleased with it. Um, that being said, like, the more you increase my prices, the more I'm going to use things like Aniba and CD keys and Green Man Gaming, so I can continue to get my prices at a reasonable price. And
Mm-hmm.
you're a multi-trillion-dollar company. I don't care if you lose a little bit of money on the fact that I'm able to access your games for cheaper. Uh, that's a you problem. I'm a consumer. I will buy it as cheap as I can, where I can, when I can. So the more you increase the prices, I'm not going to pay you for those. I'm going to continue to get them at discounted prices everywhere and anywhere I can. So again, like, you know, yes, some of their marketing, some of their communication has gotten better for sure, but I find it just a missed opportunity that they had such a good showcase only a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they proceeded to step on a rake immediately with this price increase. And then you have the success of the Fire Stick deal, right? Like, it's a sandwich. It's literally a peanut butter sandwich of communication and advertising shenanigans. You had the positive of the showcase, the shit show of the price increase, topped with a nice little bun of Fire Stick and Xbox controller goodness. So I mean, it's cool, but I feel like they still have a long way to go before they
Same here.
should get like fully praised for what they're doing.
Yep.
Because every time that they have the opportunity, they kick themselves square in the junk.
Because here's another fun fact about the price increase, which now I'm amazed, and I don't know if it's included in the price increase, right? Because hey, we now have GeForce now integrated into the service. So I wonder if you had to pay for GeForce separately in order to try the games of GeForce. I mean,
Yeah, you do.
you do? Oh, that sucks. They should have added it in the service with the Game Pass Ultimate. I mean, that's a big
Yeah,
step, but
that would be more expensive then. They've
it'll be
increased
more
it again.
expensive. Ah, crap. No, never mind. Leave it right there. Leave it right there. But that's interesting, though, guys, because seriously, they have now integrated the whole damn GeForce in there. I
Yeah,
mean, it's amazing how
Yeah.
things are just happening with this Xbox consoles and the whole Xbox ecosystem that they keep integrating stuff. I mean, what are we going to see sooner or later that we probably might get Steam on Xbox? Are we going to see we're going to get the Epic Store on Xbox? I mean, wow, GeForce Now to try it out, to play cloud games on it. It's freaking awesome. Any thoughts on that?
So that is, I think it's cool to have that option for sure. But especially, it's games that you own and stuff. Um, you can access them on any service. I think it's also PC Game Pass games as well. I have to double check that, but um, this is a direct result of the ABK deal with
Mm-hmm.
the concession that they had to make to get it through. Because if you remember, the whole cloud gaming was the biggest issue for the regulators, and then they had to make those 10-year deals with all the companies. So this is a direct result. It's not just coming into it now. So we're seeing that happen. But yeah, I think it's cool, and I hope that they add that. They continue to add more access to different launchers and stuff from
Hmm.
PC. It's basically what the future is of Xbox is going to be. If you have Game Pass, and then you're going to be able to access, I think, a bunch of different launchers that you are also use and have access to, but in the Xbox ecosystem. And then if they
yeah,
integrate Game Pass into it all right, then it's like you're getting everything in one place. So I think it's cool. The thing again with the price raises, like we were talking about, I wonder. My biggest question about why they did it when they did it was, I wonder if they were thinking we raise them now before a bunch of things start hitting that we know we can finally deliver, and then people will be less inclined to want to unsubscribe if
Mhm.
and the outrage will get out before that hits. Because if they were to raise it
Probably.
once everything dropped, like let's say Call of Duty drops, Black Ops 6, and all these things drop into the service, and then like a week later they raise it, you're gonna have that fall off effect of people who are like who maybe
Prob-
would, yeah.
Probably, but I don't know. I mean, I think when we talked about this last time, I think I kind of harped on it pretty hard, like the idea that like doing these increases right beforehand just feels kind of scummy and slimy.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the reasoning for it, but it still sucks, right? As a consumer, we don't like that. It's just not fun. It's not positive news. It's not something that we can like rally around. But
No.
I, the more I think about it, and like the more I've kind of had some time to kind of think about it the last week, is like when it is a good time, ultimately, right? Like you don't want to do it in the dead where there's nothing coming out, because then they're like, well, what the hell am I paying for? Because you're not releasing anything. But then if you do it right beforehand, it looks scummy because it's like, hey, look what's on the horizon. Look what you're paying us for, paying us extra for. But then if you do it right in the middle of all that stuff, like it doesn't feel like a great time either. So I guess like I kind of have to just accept that there's not really a great time ever to really like increase the price. Like
Yeah.
as a consumer, it doesn't look great for us. I'm sure as a business, it probably looks ideally best for them right now, because right now with Call of Duty, with all these things that are going to be coming out, you're going to get people's attention, and you are, like you mentioned, you're going to get a lot of people that'll be like, well, maybe I'll just hold on to it for another couple months because we've got all these games coming out. um yeah, just sucks. Like that's a business win, not a consumer win.
Yeah, absolutely. Now is the time for the consumer win by stacking, getting
Yes,
those
exactly.
the Game Pass core transition to the Game Pass Ultimate. That still, I believe, works for most people if you
Yes.
buy core and then yeah, sign up for a right
So
month of Ultimate.
So, in that being said, I think because I feel like we all went back and forth so much over that time when we were talking about it, but I think the thing we came up with, right, is Ultimate. That doesn't change. You're still able to stack 36 months, but for
Yeah.
people who are coming in on the lower tiers, you can't stack or something. I forget. Do you
I,
do you remember where we landed on that?
I forget, but I know from what I read like last week for getting that core deal is that you have to let your Game Pass actually expire and then buy a bunch of core subscriptions and then buy 1 month of Ultimate and then it all transfers over to Ultimate.
Gotcha,
Something
gotcha.
along those
So
lines.
it's kind of like what it used to be with the dollar deal that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Except it'll be $5, I guess, or whatever core is. I don't know if it's $5, but whatever it is.
And my last question is: will we see Luna drop by? That is a good question because I mean, since they got to deal with Amazon, will we see Luna drop by into Xbox?
Dude, okay. So I have no idea on this, but I do want to say one thing, because I've seen a lot of people talking about, and even Asante. Shout out to Asante. During his video review, when he was doing his 4K review for the
Mhm.
Fire Stick, he mentioned the fact that like right off the rip, they're advertising Luna to you. As soon as you're jumping in on that stick, and they're like, "Hey, yo, come check out this. Come check out this. Like, don't disregard these other things. Come check out our Luna." Like
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. Like I get it. Obviously, they're going to try and promote their thing, but I thought it was pretty funny when he was pointing that out. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fair. It's fair. I get it. Um, but with them getting into bed like they are, connecting Game Pass to their stick and all that stuff, yes, I think it's only a matter of time before we see that cross transition where you see Game Pass connect with them and vice versa. You'll see Luna on that side of things too. I think it's only a matter of time.
I mean, I have a theory, guys. I have a theory. This is gonna be just the last thing I'm just gonna pitch in. I have a theory about what's gonna be next gen. This is like my big theory. I think Xbox is going to be a platform where you can just go ahead and play all these other apps that are out there. Like for example, Steam, Epic. Now we have GeForce Now onto it. We have all this stuff happening. So I think the big technological leap for next generation is going to be that they are going to have you got your Xbox right, but you also have options to play. For example, you got Ubisoft Plus, you got Luna on there integrated. You got GeForce Now, you got Steam, you got Epic. You're gonna have all this stuff all smushed in there. It's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be a massive, a big thing that Xbox does this. And pretty much it tells you, hey, instead of you going out there building a PC to have all this, just come over here, get an Xbox for this excellent price, and all the stuff you got on PC, which influences everything about gaming. We have it right here on the box, and the price is this much, not as much as a PC, which to put a PC nowadays to play all these games, you got to pay like what 2, 3, 4 G's tops, like to get a great quality hand to hand PC. But you got this box right here that's got everything. You got Epic, you got Steam, you got Luna, you got all this stuff into this box. I mean, wow, it's just gonna be pretty amazing. I mean, I don't know if you guys have the same thought as I do with that.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, that'd be awesome to have everything in one place. I don't know who would really be gets it, but the question is, what does that do for like, or where do we get? What's going to happen? Of course, what's going to happen with the console, right? Like, is it going to be just basically a PC tower now with basic Windows on it, or a dumbed down Windows where you can sideload all of these different launchers onto your Xbox console that has been created by Microsoft, or are they going to just license out the Xbox OS to third party manufacturers? Then we're going to have a bunch of different boxes to play on for a cheap
Hmm.
price. Because that's the thing, right? The console, the biggest draw to the console, even for me right now, I mean, I would still rather play on console than spend thousands and thousands of dollars on the highest tier gaming rig and stuff. So for me, if they can give us multiple options, which would even drive the prices of the consoles down more, where you can kind of choose how much power your box is going to have, up to like, I don't know, like maybe spend like $800 on a console or $700 or something, if you want like the highest end. That will be a cool feature too. And then you have that ease of use and everything. It's even playing games on PC now. I know it is still it's more seamless than it was, but I still always run into issues with PC that I just don't run into on console, which I still like. And it's not because I don't understand it all. It's just sometimes you have such a limited time, you don't want to be dealing with driver updates and all this other stuff you have to do on PC. So to me, the biggest question is, how is that going to be handled in the future? Because we know we are getting more Xbox consoles, but just what is that form going to be?
Yeah. I got about you, Silent. You want to add to that?
Yeah, so I think we're going to see a lot of different in regards to what you're saying with it. Like, I think we're going to see it basically like licensed out to a bunch of different pieces of hardware, right? Like, you look at something like the ROG Ally right now, where it's literally tied right into their system,
Yeah.
and it's a great place to play your Xbox stuff right now. And eventually, based on a lot of things we've heard, and also Jez again today, Jez Corden, kind of reconfirming what we were thinking, the idea of like our entire library carrying with us to these different things.
Yeah.
I think that's the future we're looking at, is we're going to see a lot of bespoke um, releases like that from like different companies. We'll see Microsoft offering an option. Who knows if it's going to be like the highest of high tier, or if it's going to be a middle of the road, or what they're going to do with it. But it kind of seems like maybe Microsoft's approach as time goes on is like, you're not paying for a mass produced item, so you are going to pay a little bit more for it, but maybe in the process you're paying for like some higher end stuff. And then you'll see other companies that release things as well, which, like you were saying, Plume, like that'll cause, like, that's competition inside the hardware base, which would mean that it'll force those prices to be competitive as time goes on. So I kind of think that's the way that they're leveraging it.
Hmm.
I kind of feel like, you know, they look at a situation, a relationship with the ROG Ally. They look at how you can do stuff with Steam, Steam Deck, and you look at like the Logitech G Cloud and stuff like that. I think that's the approach they're going to move forward with, is make it so you can load that launcher into your system. You can make it so it's proprietary, so it's like built right in, or you can download it or whatever. But I think that's the big thing for them, is they're going to make it, again, available as many places as they can as possible. I think that's their move, right? Like, they continue to tell us that they want to try and get like the multi-billion users for video games and stuff, like across the world. That's how you do it.
Yep.
You continue to make it more available across as many ecosystems and platforms as possible.
Yep. I agree 100%. And guys, listen up. As Stephen Avery would say, that I always say that before I go. It's time to land the plane. I mean, wow. What a great show it was today. Lots of good stuff on here, man. We sure had a lot of fun, man. Seriously, it was awesome. Fantastic. Man. Woo. I think I handled it well, didn't I? I think didn't I? I think I did pretty well handling, the whole switching to things and everything. I don't know what chat says. I don't know what you guys said, but I think I did a pretty good job, handling the show this week. Oh my god.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, you're not in jail, so
Oh
you did a
yeah.
decent job.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did
Yes.
okay. You didn't shake weight or do anything like that on the stream, so you did pretty good.
You fall off your chair and show us what you're
Didn't fall
wearing.
off your chair, yeah.
Where's
Not
that?
this time. Not this time.
Where's the gift at? That was a good gift.
Oh, the GIF? Oh,
Where's
I don't
that?
have the GIF, but I have something else for you. Do you chat? Do you want to see something real quick? This is
Wait,
courtesy of Fark,
let me
actually.
let me put you on the picture, big picture, if you want to show it. All right, and
Okay.
transition it. All
Okay.
right.
All right. You guys ready? This
Uh
will
oh.
this will haunt your dreams for the rest of the night. So you're welcome.
What? What? Hey, I was in. What was?
What were
I
you
was.
doing? What were you doing there, Lou?
Oh, I was.
Hmm?
Okay. I'll explain.
Explain yourself.
Okay, I'll
Explain
express
yourself.
myself real quick. So, real quick, I'll express myself. Put myself on screen.
Is that
So,
your prison stance?
no, that was not my prison stance. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But the thing is, I was trying to tell everybody, that I wish that Emily could like make it like a cool gaming chair that you sit there and like. I don't know if you've been to like those cool movie like what's it called, the shake and move.
What is
Where you
what
watch
is
the
a
movie.
what does a gaming chair have to do with your mouth,
No, that,
Louis?
I'm gonna try to explain now. So what happened is that I don't know if you've been to those movies that the chair moves and sometimes you got wind blowing on you and stuff like that. And I was like, man, can you imagine like you're playing Forza and you put down the window of the what's it called? You put down the window of the car and also like wind just blows on you, shh, and then your mouth goes like this, you feel like the wind just blowing in your mouth and everything. Kind of know how dogs when they stick their heads out the window, like the window just like makes their mouth open like stuff like that. I mean, that would be pretty cool if we could get a gaming chair that does all that cool stuff. Wouldn't you guys want a gaming chair like that? And
The-
like,
the- what did you just say? Sorry, Lou, you got to tell the story again. I didn't catch it.
Was it just me? Because I feel like I was talking a different language just now.
I don't know what you were saying there. All I heard is mouth open, mouth open, mouth open. I don't know what's going on with your mouth,
and then
Louis, but-
things in your mouth, and then
Yeah.
and then Sourblow.
okay, I'll explain myself again. Oh my god.
No. I don't think we have enough time for that. We better land this plane.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's 9:05, Louis. No,
Okay.
the story time's over. You had a chance.
My just okay. But guys, all right, let's start off with you, Captain. Please tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
All right. Well, chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this evening. It was great to see a bunch of familiar names, see some new people in here too. TKV Gaming jumping in at the last second too. Salute to you. Great to see you here. As far as where you can find me, God, I'm actually going to be all over the place for a little bit. But one place I will not be is TikTok. And ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and have a quick conversation about TikTok. Somehow, I have no idea how, but somehow I've been permanently banned from our dear TikTok service. I have filed an appeal. I'm trying to figure out what is going on right now, but somehow something in my content, or I got hacked or something, I am permanently banned on TikTok as of now.
Damn.
We have now hit a week and 2 days since I filed the appeal, and I've heard nothing from TikTok. So currently at this pace and at this trajectory, I'm kind of deciding that maybe what I'm going to do is just shift over to YouTube and start doing more stuff on YouTube. Because if they can't get back to me in a timely manner, I have no reason to stick with them. I may as well go somewhere else. And YouTube hasn't banned me for content yet, so we're going to go that way, I think. Um, Besides that, though, I actually did just do the first episode of Fright Night with Ferocious Fee last Friday. If you look up the YouTube channel, or if you jump onto my Twitter, you can find the details on there for a link. You can come hang out with us while we talk about Exorcist Believer. Should be on that some more as we move forward. I think I'm going to try and do some more episodes with them. Hopefully, I'll be on at least once a month. We'll see what happens. Schedule pending. Um, but besides that, I'm also going to be hanging out with Web Dave on Gamers Council on Sunday, hanging out with him and some other guests to be announced. And then besides that, you'll catch me next Friday. I'm going to be on Mr. Boomstick's channel, Double Barrel Gaming, Boomstick with Friends, Friday morning. So you'll kind of catch me in a few different places while I'm kind of on a stint from TikTok. And moving forward, yeah, I think we're going to be shifting away from their platform because for some reason they chose to ban me and they gave me no information as to why.
Mm.
So that's where you're going to find me. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us this evening.
All right, all right, all right. How about you, Mr. Jason Biggs? Where can people find you, sir, besides in American Pie?
Well, you can find me there for sure. Yeah, no, great show, Louis. You almost had it till the very end when you gave us that story that made no sense. You were almost there, but
I gotta go back and listen to it. I don't know what the heck
Uh,
is.
yeah,
but
that's going to be a
Oh,
clip.
Lord.
but you can find me YouTube, of course. My morning news show 8 a.m. Plume Gaming. You can also find me on X at Plume Gaming. And you can find me on TikTok as well and on Facebook and Instagram. But the main platforms would be YouTube and X. But yeah, great show, guys. And yeah, Louis, where can we find you? And
Oh,
don't tell us a rambling story. Just tell us where we can
okay.
find you.
No, okay, okay. Simple and easy. You can find the crazy one at Twitter X at Crazy Lou Gaming, which I used to do a lot of fun stuff. Now I decided to do it on the morning shows. That's where you can find the crazy one, right? On Twitter X, Crazy Louie Gaming. You can also find me at the Xbox Factor Podcast on 12 Tuesdays with Mr. Boomstick, Mr. Infinite Umbra, and Mr. Jamie is it Jamie? Yeah, Jamie Moran. And also Mondays through Saturdays, early in the morning, bright and shine, sometimes a little bit later. Good morning with Crazy Louie. Where just sit there, drop in the news, and just sit there and chat with y'all and have a lot of fun. Yep, that's what we do every single morning from Mondays to Saturday, and also on the Xbox International Podcast with Silent Cypher, the Big Plume, and Sourblows at 7 p.m. ET every single Wednesday. That's where you can find the crazy one and chat. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Thank you all for your amazing support. Thank you all for the memberships. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you all for everything. You guys seriously rock. I love you all. You guys are awesome. And also to the people out there watching us on Twitter and on Twitch, you guys also rock too. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Oh, right. Before I go, let me drop this in here. I think I still have it. Yes, it's our Discord. If you want to join, our Discord is right there, dropped in. So go ahead, click on that link I just dropped in, join it. And again, subscribe button, hit the bell. And not only that, again, please share it out to everyone so people can come join us on Wednesdays and Good Morning with Crazy Louie. And guys, like I always say, wait, remember, remember, remember. member. Let's go. Let's rock and let's get crazy. Yes. See you all tomorrow morning. And for XBI, see you all next Wednesday. Bye, guys. Have an awesome one. Where's the outro? Here it is. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off this live stream. On behalf of Xbox International, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you aboard next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.